ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಭಕ್ತಾನಾಂ ಮಾನಸಾಂಭೋಜ ಭಾನವೇ ಕಾಮಧೇನವೇ ನಮತಾಂ ಕಲ್ಪತರವೇ ಜಯೀಂದ್ರ ಗುರವೇ ನಮಃ. ವಿದ್ಯಾಪೀಠ ವಿಧಾತಾರಂ ವಿದ್ಯಾವಾರಿಧಿ ಚಂದಿರಂ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿವತ್ಸಲಂ ವಂದೇ ಮಹಾಮಹಿಮ ಸದ್ಗುರುಂ. ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. Vijayendra Tirtha Swamiji was a great and prolific saint in the history of Madhva philosophy. He was a great mystic and a sanctified soul, also a master of 64 arts. His Purvashrama name was Vithalacharya. It seems great people's birth always a miracle. Vyasarajuru was once giving mantrakshate to all the devotees as usual. An old couple who had no issues at all came to seek the holy mantrakshate from Vyasarajuru. Vyasarajuru, who was a Trikalagnani, a master of the present, past and future, blessed the very old couple, Shigrameva Putra Praptirastu. The old couple at once were baffled because how could they give birth to a child at such an old age? But great people's words never become false. The old couple gave birth to 2 children very soon, Vithalacharya and Guru Prasada. The couple knew they were blessed with only the grace of Vyasarajuru. Hence, they handed the entire responsibility of Vithalacharya to Vyasarajuru. Sri Vyasarajuru arranged for the Chaula and Upanayana, that is a death ceremony, for Vithalacharya. He also taught him Tarka, Mimamsa, Vedanta Shastra. At a very early age of 8, when Sri Vyasarajuru was satisfied with the vairagya of the child, he gave him sannyasa ashrama and named him as Vishnu Tirtha. Thus, Vithalacharya became a Bala sannyasi at a very tiny age of 8 years. Soon, Vishnu Tirtha became Vijayendra Tirtha. Sri Surendra Tirtha was a saint from Sri Vibhudendra Tirtha Mutt. Earlier, Rayar Matha was called as Vibhudendra Mutt only. Sri Surendra Tirtharu was looking for his successor. Once he had the opportunity of visiting Sri Vyasarajuru and there he saw Vishnu Tirtha. He was very much happy to see the glory of Vishnu Tirtha. He asked Vyasarajuru to gift Vishnu Tirtha, which Vyasarajuru readily agreed and gave him to Surendra Tirtha. Sri Surendra Tirtha was extremely happy to get Sri Vishnu Tirtha as his disciple and made him sit on the throne of Sri Madhacharya, succeeded previously by Sri Vibhudendra Tirtha Swamiji. Sri Surendra Tirtha Swamiji renamed Sri Vishnu Tirtha as Sri Vijayendra Tirtha and made him the emperor of the Vedanta empire. Vijayendra Tirtha was very well versed in 64 Vidyas. Thus, he was also known as Chatushashti Vidya Pravina, and he had his victory against all his opponents in all fields. That is why he was also called as Ajeya, which means never to be defeated. Sri Vijayendra Tirtha Swamiji saved Madhva Siddhanta from a very real and serious threat of extinction in South India during the 16th century. Hence, the followers of Madhva Siddhanta should always remain grateful to the memory of such great personality. He was a master of all arts. He was a master in all 64 Vidyas. That is why he was also called as Chatushashti Vidya Pravina. Sri Vijayendra Tirtha Swamiji challenged everyone that anybody can test him over his knowledge of 64 Vidyas. He was very well versed in all the 64 Vidyas. On his open challenge, many people tried to defeat and establish their supremacy over him, but no one could succeed. We find many instances in his life where he mastered over his Vidya. Some of them are: he defeated Krishna Sharma. Soon after getting his name as successor for Surendra Tirtha and becoming the pontiff of the great Vibhudendra Mutt, he had a long debate with Sri Krishna Sharma, a great Pandit, whom he defeated single-handedly based on Bheda Tattva. Once in Ananteshwara temple, a mantrika challenged Vijayendra Tirtha to cross 7 lines drawn by him and take the lemon, which is possessed by few mantras. Vijayendra Tirtha showed his knowledge and showed his kaushala in this field by simply sending his devotee to bring the lemon rather than he himself going. This itself shows his kaushala, his supremacy in the mantrika vidya. His devotee and his mantrakshate itself was enough to defeat such fellow men. Not only in mantrika vidya, some Brahmins tried to test him over Indriya Nigraha by sending some beautiful girls who did massage on him. Nothing could be changed on him. He was just chanting Narayana mantra throughout and nothing they could do to him. Thus he gained victory and Indriya Nigraha over Kama Shastra. When Appaya Dikshitar, a renowned Advaiti Vidwan, challenged and wrote several granthas condemning Madhva Shastra, Vijayendra Tirtha single-handedly defeated him in all sets of arguments which ran into many years, and finally Appaya Dikshitar accepted his defeat. Vijayendra Tirtha Swamiji also showed his expertise in Shilpakala by preparing idols of Ramachandra Devaru, Sita Devi, Bhuvaraha with candles. He further did many idols in metals which are even being today worshipped at Kumbhakona Samsthana. Once an ornament merchant, a goldsmith, wanted to test him over preparation of ornaments. There also Vijayendra Tirtha Swamiji showed his expertise and all the judges decided that the ornaments prepared by Swamiji was the best. After being defeated by Mantrika Shakti and in all the other many Shaiva sannyasis under the leadership of a great Shaiva Lingarajendra tried to defeat him over Shastra Panditya. There also, after severe arguments for many days, he defeated them in all sets of questions and finally they accepted their defeat and surrendered their entire property to him. In this way, the prominence of Shaiva in Kumbhakona came to an end. This was only possible by the scholarship and by the eminence of Vijayendra Tirtha Swamiji. After Lingarajendra accepted his defeat and went out of Kumbhakona by surrendering their entire property to him, some of the Shaiva Pandits couldn't tolerate their defeat. They wanted to have revenge over Swamiji. They planned in a quite different way. At that time, in Kumbhakona, all Dvaita, Advaita and Vishishtadvaita Brahmins were living in peace, respecting each other's religion. These Shaiva miscreants tried to spoil the Brahmin relationship. So they planned an idea. They told that the Sarovara which was lying between the Kumbheshwara temple and Sarangapani temple belonged to Shaivas and that the Dvaitis and other Vishishta Dvaitis have no right over the Sarovara. They must never come there. As Vijayendra Tirtha Swamiji was controlling the entire Dharmadipatya and administration of Kumbhakona temples, all the three groups Dvaita, Advaita, Vishishtadvaita came to Vijayendra Tirtharu who settled the dispute to full satisfaction of one and all that the Sarovara actually belongs to Sarangapani temple itself, but it can be used by both the groups. The Shiva miscreants, unable to tolerate this, stayed outside of Kumbhakona after having been defeated. They lost the Sarovara to Sarangapani temple. After a few years, they told that the entire Sarovara must be utilized only by Shaivas again. Again, both the groups came to Vijayendra Tirtharu for decision. He told them not to raise unnecessary dispute as it is being used by both the groups. It is already proved that the Sarovara belongs to only Sarangapani temple. The Shaivas actually shouldn't come there, but Shaivas can also use the Sarovara for Kumbheshwara temple. Hence, Sri Galu told both the groups that let us have a search of the Sarovara. If it has more Shaiva proof, then it belongs to Kumbheshwara temple. If it has more proofs of Vaishnavas, then it belongs to Sharangapani temple. All the groups accepted. These Shaiva miscreants put many Basava idols and lingas in the Sarovara a day before the fixed date for testing the Sarovara to ensure that there are more Shaiva symbols and the Sarovara administration entirely goes to Kumbheshwara temple. Next day, Sri Galu as usual came and both the group leaders were also present to test to whom the Sarovara belonged. Sri Vijayendra Tirtha Swamiji threw some Abhimantrita Mantrakshate on the Sarovara. 4 to 5 people from each group got down the Sarovara to see the symbols available. To the shock of Shaivas, the Sarovara could give many Hanuma idols and Shaligramas. The Basava Vigraha and Linga stones, which Shaivas have already put into the Sarovara, had become Hanuma Vigraha and Shaligramas respectively, to the surprise of all. Then all the Shaiva miscreants bowed their head down with shame and readily agreed that the Sarovara is a property of Vaishnavas only. Vijayendra Tirtha Swamiji was a master of 64 arts. Hence, he came to be known as Chaturshashti Kala Pravina. He proudly says in one of his granthas that he achieved all this only with the grace of his Guru Sri Vyasaraja Swamiji and Tikacharya, that is Jayatirtha Swamiji. He revised the entire Sriman Nyaya Sudha 9 times and Sarvamula Grantha 6 times directly from Vyasarajaru. His ashrama guru Sri Surendra Tirtha was no less. He was a great Dvaita philosopher and was the one who gave us such as unrelenting and dialectician and polemist, our present protagonist Vijayendra Tirtha Swamiji. Not only mastering 64 arts, he was one of the most prolific writers from the Dvaita school of Vedanta. He was a star pupil of Sri Vyasarajaru, Paramaguru of Sri Rayaru. He composed 104 works. Remembering the names of these granthas is quite difficult and complicated task. Then, studying and understanding these works is literally near to impossible. Such is the depth of his works. Sri Vijayendra Tirtha Swamiji saved Madhva Siddhanta from a very real and serious threat of extinction. He occupies a unique place. There is not even a single Madhva who is not familiar with his name. Even today, his name is brilliantly blazing with an eternal flame. So today on this auspicious occasion, let us chant the stotras composed by him, and let us all put our sins in the feet of Lord and pray to him that he brings us out from this turmoil of births and deaths. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.